I am currently really struggling to understand the universe's plan for me. I don't get it. It's like I have so many wonderful things that I can share with somebody else. And it seems like whenever I even get the tiniest glimpse of hope, just the tiniest, it immediately disappears. Like, oh, I went on a second date with somebody else and connected with them, and I want to try to pursue that. You were great, though. You were great. But I was just second in line, I guess. And every time I say, that's okay, because what's meant for me will find me. I truly believe that. But it's really hard to continue to stay hopeful and positive when just nothing works out. Like, nothing. And I'm not going to settle. I don't want to lower my standards or accept less than I deserve, because I would rather be alone. But my God, it's so draining. Dating is draining, and I just can't keep doing it. So at what point do you just accept being single forever? I don't know.
Oh, boo-hoo, Colleen, there you go. All this gorilla can say is that another one bites the dust. Here we go again! Another Colleen who decides to use TikTok as therapy and put a video out there because, oh no, she went on a date with a guy and it didn't turn out to the second date because she got ghosted because she wasn't the first round draft pick. Boo-hoo! Coming from the same woman who in the exact same video said that she's not going to settle or lower her standards or accept less than what she deserves. Sweetheart, let me tell you something. You want to know why your standards are way too high? Because you are in your 30s. Because you just recently smashed through something so devastating that everybody can see it except you. It's called the wall. Congratulations. Dating in your 30s, dating on a harder setting. You keep going for the Chads and Tyrones that you don't qualify for. Those men are above your pay grade. And this gorilla is almost damn certain that you have ghosted and discarded and pushed away average guys, aka guys that are at your level because you believe you deserve better. Why do you deserve better? Seriously, what do you have to offer that puts your SMV so much higher? I'll give you a hint. Your properties and your career are not two things men are interested in. You don't have much there, sweetheart. You're basically a seller in a buyer's market. You think you have filet mignon when it's practically roast beef at this point. But you keep drinking that Kool-Aid, sweetheart. Yeah, your Prince Charming is going to come one day. In fact, I think I hear him now. Oh no, sorry, that was a meow of your cats. And if you think this girl is being too cruel, well, why don't you stop for a second and think about all these date failures that you have. What is the one thing that every date has in common? Oh, snap, that would be you, Colleen. I guess a cracked taco doesn't have a high resale value, huh? Moving on.
Here's the deal. I am turning 33 this year. I am single and I live in Melbourne. Friend and I recently came up with a bit of an idea to follow us along as I dip my toes back into the dating pool. Been single for a year now. I've gone on casual dates, but I just wanted to take the year to kind of get ready or back into that headspace where I'm ready to date. So my first question to you guys, which app should I be on? I don't rate Raya. No one really talks, myself included. This whole process is obviously to date and have fun and meet more people, but also keep myself accountable. 2025 is the year to get out there more, I suppose.
Mama say that happiness is from magic rays of sunshine that come down when you're feeling blue.
Oh, that's rich, Queen. For my younger viewers, as I've said before, a woman's definition of being single is not the same as a man's definition. I mean, note what she said. She was single for a year, although she has been out on dates. And she took the year to heal and get ready for the headspace of dating. Translation from Womanese. Yeah, she doesn't count the onesie twosies that she's had. Because believe you me, the only one that could lower body count more often than women is a war criminal trying to avoid justice. She says she's been on 1 or 2 dates. Really? Multiply that by 3. And she wants to get into headspace. Again, translation from Womanese. She's tired of the one-night stands and she wants someone to be in a quote-unquote relationship with. So the magic question is, all right, hold up a second. If you're putting a video out here to ask for recommendations for a dating app, how exactly were you getting those onesie Tuesday dates you supposedly had in this last year? Rhetorical question, fam. Carousel rides with the Chad and Tyrone midnight booty calls do not count as dates. Moving on.
Okay, genuinely, what are we doing to meet people in our 30s? Because if I have to spend one more minute on a dating app, I'm just gonna end it. I'm gonna go play in traffic. Because this, personal hell. I've been single, my marriage ended a little bit over 2 years ago. And I would say within the last, 8 months or so, I've really been kind of, ready to actually start, I don't know, maybe trying to find a person again, because I'm sick of being alone. I don't need a man, but I go to movies alone, I go to concerts alone, I travel alone. I'm sick of being alone, okay? Right? But I go to work and I sit at home with my kids. So how do I meet people if it's not online? Because the people online are they're so unserious. It's almost comical at this point. Reading through their profiles, I'm do you guys even read what you're putting on here? Are you just clicking buttons and swiping for booty pictures? What are you doing? Because look at this. Okay, this is the that I'm talking about, right? Okay, so this is this guy's bio. He's getting tired of dating apps. I can't talk. Oh my gosh, he's getting tired of dating apps. Other than that, he's a father, blah, 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 blah. Been single long enough to know what he wants. And what is it that he wants? He doesn't know. He's still figuring it out. What the f does that mean? I can't.
Oh, dang, Queen, where do you go to meet men in your 30s? Maybe you should have had that figured out before you actually divorced your husband. Well, who knows? Maybe you actually did have that. Maybe you had a boyfriend and then he just dumped you soon after you got your divorce. We don't know your backstory, but one thing I can tell you, Colleen, is when you say, oh, I don't need a man, but I'm sick of being alone, that directly translates into, yeah, you need a man. Because if you're pushed to the point to having to make a TikTok video about how much you don't need a man, but you don't want to be alone, yeah, that shows more evidence to the needy part than the not needy part. Also, this girl has got to point out something that's obvious to everybody else except for you. You see, you're a post-wall single mom right now trying to get onto a dating app, and you're criticizing what men put into their dating profiles. Well, you have to understand, a lot of these men in these dating profiles, they're going to be one of two things. They're either going to be these blue pill beta simps that are desperate to be with chicks like you, but you are not attracted to those men, or they're going to be the type of guy that you are attracted to, and they really just don't much care what do you think about their dating profiles, because they can get something younger, hotter, with more traction and less baggage than you. The one kind of dating profile he posts up there is a single father, and you downplay his dedication when he's talking about single father of his daughter, and you say single father of blah blah blah. You know that attitude you had about the blah blah blah? That's exactly how 99% of men think about your offspring when you put it in your dating profile. Or you say, my kids come first, blah blah blah, I'm just gonna smash her. And this girl finds it super hilarious how that single father's dating profile is almost a mirror image of what most single moms put out there. I'm still trying to figure this out, I don't know. And you found it super frustrating. So imagine how the men who have to read through your crappy profile think when they're saying a single mom who hasn't figured it out and doesn't know what she wants. Funny thing is, all you're doing is kind of bashing men, but you obviously don't have it figured out either. What's that saying? Pot calling the kettle black? Or in this case, double standards to the max. Moving on.
Dating in your 30s is so hard because I've got kids. I don't want a man with kids. Not young kids, teenagers, fine. Do you know what I mean? Not likely to still be tapping the baby mum. If the kids are grown up, the feelings are gone, possibly. But more than likely, if they've got very young kids together, maybe there's something still there, and I don't want to get involved, do you know what I mean? But obviously, men that don't have kids don't want me, because I've got kids. So, I'm kind of cooked on the dating scene at the minute. Men don't want me, and I don't want them. If you go on a dating app, these are just the kinds of people you're going to get. The people that say they've got ADHD, PPD, all this, and you say, when did you get diagnosed with that? Oh, well, I haven't been diagnosed with it, but I know I've got it. You know what I mean? I've seen a few videos on TikTok or whatever, and it's like, right, all right then, sound. Then you've got the trauma dumpers, paragraphs upon paragraphs of how his ex is a bitch. And that to me is an instant turn off. It's boring as fuck. I don't want to listen to it.
Oh, behave.
Hold up there, my overweight, delusional-sized queen. Let me get this straight. Did you just say that dating your 30s is hard because you have kids, but you don't want a man who has kids? Oh, double standards galore. Obviously, the West is frickin' cooked with this one. Listen, sister, let me give you a little bit of guerrilla insight right here. You do not have the SMV, especially as being a single mom, to demand such things. Actually, let me walk that back a little bit. You could demand that of a blue pill beta pathetic simp, but not of the guys that you're attracted to, because they're just gonna look at you like, seriously, Colleen? I don't want to date a woman with baggage, and you obviously have way too much. But walking that back a bit, you did say that you admit that you're cooked because the men who don't have kids don't want you. I'm gonna adjust that a little bit because let me correct that. The men that you want just want to power drive you through the mattress, but they're not gonna make you the main. I mean, you could be part of their roster, but not much more than that. But you kind of screwed that up when you said, well, they don't want me, but I don't want them. BS! You definitely want them. You want a guy who has no commitment to other children so he could dedicate all his funds and resources to you, which isn't going to happen. And then straight from there, you tee off into the position that you say that you need some head meds because although you haven't been diagnosed with it, you know you have it. Ooh, that's really freaking attractive. And then you go and say that men are trauma dumpers because their exes are total Bs and you don't want to hear all that. You know, this girl is starting to think that the reason you don't want to hear all that is because you fall into that category. I'm sorry, but in that recipe, you seem to have a lot of the ingredients.
I can't stand reading paragraphs upon paragraphs about somebody's ex. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. So I usually just stop talking at that point. Then you're going to get the guys that are still figuring it out. Well, you better figure it out soon, mate. Because your airline's leaving you faster than your ex did. Do you know what I mean? I just think, honestly, people in the 30s should just give up. Just give up. If it happens, it happens. It's meant to be. The universe will send you what is meant to be. Looking, you don't get anywhere. I've been single for 3 years and I just keep finding narcissists and avoidance, and that's it. And people who don't like me, or people who I don't like. It's a complete and utter waste of time. I say make plans with your friends. Spend time with your kids if you've got kids. You don't need to be riddled with anxiety, wondering what someone's up to, why someone's doing the hot and cold, why someone's blocking you and unblocking you every 5 minutes. Because that's all there is out there now. Games. People playing games, yes, in the 30s. And I don't know about you lot, but I've got better things to do.
And you don't like to hear about paragraphs upon paragraphs of somebody's ex. Hey, completely agreed here, Colleen. Nobody likes to hear about another person's ex. And in your case, I'm pretty sure you really detest it because you don't want to hear how you have so many things in common with the guy's ex. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of things common with a lot of guys' ex. That's why they're their ex and you are an ex. And you go, Colleen. You want to get with the guys that have everything figured out because for some reason, you don't have it figured out. Let me guess. You're not going to figure things out because you want to get with a guy who's got things figured out, so you're just going to latch on to his figuring it out. I mean, if you already had it figured out, you wouldn't be making a TikTok video and talking all this crap about men. You would just execute the plan and that's it. And as you said, people in their 30s should just give up, because you've been single for 3 years and you've been finding only narcissists for these last 3 years. Question, was one of those narcissists, or I should say, the biggest narcissist that you found, was that in the mirror? Because it definitely seems that way, especially when someone who has such a low SMV makes a TikTok video as if she was like the ultimate queen. And let's be honest, you in your own words saying that you have better things to do, then why are you making TikTok videos trying to advise other people as to how to manage their own dating life when you yourself, you don't even have figured out? I mean, do you have a ring on your finger? Doesn't seem that way. You seem to still be single in your 30s, being a single mom, aka not the prize, by a long shot. Listen, Queen, let me just tell you something right now. I am confident that 90% plus of the time, men categorize you as a pump and dump. Chad and Tyrone come in, see you, say, all right, let's release some pressure, let's empty the fluids out, and then let's just keep them going our own way. Because trust me, Colleen, if you had things figured out, you wouldn't need TikTok. To be honest with you, if you had things figured out, you'd probably be married with a happy home right now. Not being the relationship broke Colleen trying to tell other women how to be happy. That's like a homeless person giving out financial advice.
Damn, skip me.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund. Or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.